March the 27th, 2024. Guys, the rain here in central Mississippi has now moved east. I think you guys in Florida maybe still be getting some along the east coast there. But we may have about a week of dry and warm weather. It would help. It looks like that's what's going to happen. It would help to get a lot of gardens in. We're going to probably need them before this year's over with. Now, what's happening in Tucson, Arizona may be about to spread to many other cities. And they're saying that Tucson faces a catastrophe as funding for illegal immigrants are set to expire, guys, just in a couple days on April 1st. They're getting $1 million a day. But what's happened, because Greg Abbott has shut down Eagle Pass and they're moving more and more people into different areas of Texas, that the tide has shifted to Arizona and California. And now Tucson is in trouble. Let's read this. It says, Arizona's city of Tucson may be only days away from a crisis as millions of dollars in federal funds, which have been used to finance programs to house and assist illegal immigrants, are set to expire on April 1st, potentially leading to their release en masse in the streets of Arizona's border communities. Guys, do you realize this was part of the plan the entire time? Keep the money going as long as you could to entice as many to come in here and vote. That's just the lower level. There's a couple of levels of why this is all happening, including some videos I did called The Killing Fields. We're talking about the walls, keeping in as well as out. But I knew this was going to eventually have to happen. Now, what's so bad is Tucson has homeless vets on the street that can't get any help. Now, what better way to take down a country than from the inside? And that's what we're seeing. This was planned, and it just sped up a little bit because it looks like Texas put their foot down and changed this tide, moved it west. And to be honest with you guys, I hope time is not running out for this country to turn around. But it says Tucson City Manager Michael Ortega said the loss of federal funding, which amounts to more than $1 million a week, would be catastrophic for the city. Keeping 100 folks off the street is different than 1,000 folks every day. He was talking to Channel 13 News. So I'm sounding the alarm, he said. More than 1,000 illegal immigrants are processed by Border Patrol before being brought into the city daily. That's some fast processing, Border Patrol. And without the influx of federal dollars, it could, in short time, overwhelm the city, according to Mr. Dahl. Now, these federal dollars, that's mine and your money. Mr. Dahl said that regardless of the outcome, the city will continue to work with nonprofit groups set up to assist illegal immigrants. Further, he proposed the Border Patrol could take illegal immigrants to Sky Harbor Airport. Guys, you know where that's at, in nearby Phoenix, Arizona, which is better equipped to deal with the situation. Now, he's saying we've never seen the number of people coming in now that we are currently seeing. In the past, we were seeing 10 people a day being dropped off, and it didn't really have too much of an impact. But now we're talking about hundreds every day, he said 1,000, and there's simply no place in our budget for this to continue. Well, Mr. Dahl, I'd wonder what genius, along with you and Mr. Michael Ortega, got together with y'all and told you this would work. But what's happening is that I'm seeing more and more politicians kind of showing their hand that they've been bought off by someone like Soros. Why are all these big politicians, even on the Republican side, suddenly resigning? And what they're doing is creating an offset balance to the Democratic side in both the House and the Senate. Why? That's because they're getting someone saying, will you take $1 million, $10 million to walk away from your office that you've sworn to all the voters that put you here after you've made all these millions on under the table deals? Would you take $10 million to walk away now so that we can let this election go the other way? Think about what they're doing. It's pretty pathetic. Let's don't forget that they want to send a lot of these folks over to Sky Harbor in Phoenix. Said they can better deal with them. How is an airport going to be better? Can they better deal with a situation like that? Just overcrowd them like you've done in the East? People lying all over. You can't hardly get in and out of the airports. And when you do go out, you don't know, half of the cabs sitting out there are fake. They're going to rip you off. They're going to probably kill you, murder you, rob you, all the above. They're already busting a lot of people doing that. And most of these people do not have citizenship that are running these Ubers. But think about the infighting that may be about to happen within the Democratic system itself. Phoenix has their hands full, and now Tucson wants to dump people there. How will that work? Will the group in Phoenix go along with that? Probably will. They're kind of slow, if you know what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the people there. I'm talking about the politicians. And when I say slow, that's just a very nice way to say evil, crooked demons. They may go ahead with it and just crush Phoenix. Think about that, if they're all in it together, or it may create some type of conflict between, no, I'm not going to take any more, we can't hardly handle it, I'm going to lose all my votes in Phoenix if I do this. You're already going to lose them all in Tucson if it's a real election this time. It says data released from the U.S. Customs and Border Patrol show that in December, agents were involved in a record 87,330 encounters with illegal immigrants in Arizona's Yuma and Tucson sectors. Think about that. How do Border Patrol handle that many people with any type of legitimacy, paperwork or records or anything in a month? The new all-time high eclipses the previous high record recorded just 1 month earlier in November 2023, when the agents reported 70,796 encounters. That's not at Texas and California or the Canadian border. The new data also is the continuation of a troubling trend, making the 7th consecutive month the state has set a monthly record. They got to get them in here before the election. A Border Patrol source previously told the Epoch Times that agents believe at least some of the increase can be attributed to an upgrade in security over recent months at the popular illegal crossings along the Texas border, resulting in some smugglers opting to reroute to southeastern Arizona, where they expect to be met with less resistance. Resistance is not even in the equation. They're helping them, guys. There's no resistance. These smugglers are very savvy when it comes to American media, and they are aware of the message Texas has been sending that they don't want them coming through their state. It appears, at least in some instances, that they are detouring a few hours and crossing where they know they won't have to encounter any resistance. Right now, the place is Arizona, especially the Tucson sector. Arizona Sheriff Mark Lamb told the Epoch Times that the crisis confronting Tucson is one of the government's own creation, and that even if a path is found to extend federal funding, that it will only serve as a temporary fix that fails to address the core problem. All this funding was only hiding the fact that the government's policies are completely disastrous and serves to keep people from realizing that this is a deeply serious issue. And just today in New York, they're handing out debit cards, millions of dollars worth. And they're in trouble too. He said, we are supporting thousands of new people every day who broke our laws. Mr. Lamb says in his role as sheriff, where he is tasked with enforcing existing law, his hands are tied. However, securing the border has become one of the main platforms and reason for his current run for the U.S. Senate. We need to unelect these people in office, Mr. Lamb said. We didn't have these issues when Mr. T was president. People are coming here because the government keeps providing incentives in terms of free housing and other things. American families work hard only to see their taxes go to people who broke the law and entered the country illegally. That's not compassionate. That is reckless. They care not about the migrants. And just a word to the migrants, that any of you guys that ever see this, do you realize after the election you're going to be worse than what's happening in Tucson? You're going to be treated worse than that. No money to you. You've served your useful purpose. Now you're going to be on your own. And do you think the administration, again to the migrants, cares about you? Just their agenda. And when you are through with it, you're going to wish you had never left your homes. Think about what I'm telling you. Nothing is going to be better on this side after everything falls. The grass is not greener on the other side in this case. It may look like it temporarily, but guys, those fences are going to hold people from coming and going. And when the government realizes they can no longer control these masses, it will become the killing fields. That may be a worldwide plan. But we're watching it, guys. Keep your eyes on this. I'd like to find out what the response from Phoenix is going to be. Will it create inside bickering among those demons? And guys, demons don't care about the other demons any more than they care about you. They just soon throw them under the bus after they've used them up too. But we're watching it, guys. You watch it. It's a heads up. Be safe.